Bianca Belair and Kiari Sane battle it out in a rematch from the first Mae Young Classic, and 5 championship matches that will take place at TakeOver New York. The final hype on the Go Home show. This is NXT right here on Off the Script.
5, delete! This is mine.
Alive with you. People still didn't. Man, there's only so much that you can cover in a very weak 1-hour go-home show right before a major show on Friday, which is probably their biggest show of all time. We'll try and make sense of it. Tonight we had Kiari Sane and Bianca Belair, 2 of my favorite female performers in all of the WWE. They were in the ring tonight, a rematch from the first ever Mae Young Classic in the second round. I love that match, man. If you guys go back and watch the first Mae Young Classic where it was Kiari Sane and it was Tessa Blanchard, how WWE didn't sign Tessa Blanchard for whatever reason. Backstage issues were cited, I think, or behavioral issues or a bad attitude or something along those lines. I remember her just being great then. She's even better now, Tessa. Hopefully one day. Anyway, Kiari Sane and Tessa in the first round of the Mae Young Classic. And then in the second round, that's when we all first got a glimpse of Bianca Belair. And she was still very green in the ring. But man, that match was fucking great. You seen her do that 450. I remember like it was yesterday, man. That 450 fucking splash. So great. And now she's even better now, 2 years removed from the Mae Young Classic. So they had a match tonight, rematch from that first ever Mae Young Classic tournament. We had the War Raiders send a nice little statement to Aleister Black and Ricochet, and a bunch of video packages. Hyping NXT TakeOver New York this Friday. Now, there is a scheduling conflict with the channel's content. I have my Off the Script Part 1 recorded already. And the way I'm doing it this week is I'm not doing a traditional off the script. It's literally going to be everything TakeOver and everything WrestleMania. There's nothing in between. There's literally no other WWE news. And if there is, it's all pertaining to those individual events. So this is what I did. Off the Script Part 1 already, which is normally uploaded on Friday. You guys are getting that on Thursday. And you're getting it at like 11 a.m., 12 p.m. around lunchtime tomorrow afternoon. That is going to be all NXT TakeOver New York. News and rumors and predictions and match card rundown. You're getting everything NXT tomorrow afternoon. Friday, which is usually a part 1, you guys are going to be getting part 2. And part 2 is going to be a massive. And it's not because I want it to be massive. It's massive because WWE are a bunch of fucking idiots. I gotta go over 17 matches for this preview and predictions. All the news and rumors pertaining to those 17 matches. This may be an 8-hour podcast. Have them on an 8-hour WrestleMania. So what you guys are gonna get, this is the weekend's rundown. Because I'm going to be busy with House of Glory. I'm gonna be busy running around trying to meet up with a few people in the community in New York City on Saturday. So this is what I'm going to be doing. Okay? Again, rundown. Thursday afternoon, NXT TakeOver preview and predictions, Off the Script Part 1 for the weekend. Friday, Off the Script Part 2, WrestleMania predictions. Friday night, NXT TakeOver New York review. Saturday, a random AEW video about 45 minutes long with random news. And then Sunday, I'm taking off. Because WrestleMania is Sunday, and we are all subjected to 28 hours of wrestling on Sunday afternoon. There you go. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'm not like these other fucking clowns who are going to be dead by WrestleMania, and then I won't want to do anything, WWE. Then we got Raw and SmackDown and NXT again next week. So that is the lineup so far. Patrons, you'll have it early. You'll have it early, so look forward to that. Thank you guys so much for all your cooperation. We'll get back to the regularly scheduled program next week when WWE isn't busy giving us a fucking 37-hour pay-per-view. Anyway, if you missed anything this week, Raw, SmackDown, clearly this is NXT. I even uploaded an off-the-script extra today, talking about Jim Ross and the most lucrative deal in all of pro wrestling commentary. Jim Ross money move that would make Cardi B proud. It's all in there. Plus, he signed on as a senior advisor. They brought in Justin Roberts as the ring announcer, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great, man. Plus, off the script last weekend, we talk about Charlotte and Asuka, and more Charlotte, and Becky, and Ronda, and more Asuka, and more Charlotte. And then we got SmackDown moving to 3 hours. Major WrestleMania swerve in the plans, question mark. Raw was the worst go-home show of all time. And then SmackDown Live, Daniel Bryan. Life lessons with Daniel Bryan. Free. If you didn't pay attention, your loss. All that is in the annotation. JD, where's the fucking annotation? I don't see it. Listen, clown. It's in the top right corner. It's that little eye that's staring right at you. Click it. Drop it down. Everything you need is right there. And when you do watch the videos, hit the thumbs up. Please. I would really, really appreciate it. Make sure you guys go get your t-shirts. Bonfire.com/offthescript. JD's Elite exclusively on Bonfire. Thank you guys so very much for all your support on Bonfire. Hope to see you guys wearing the JD's Elite at Hooters. By the way, the link is in the description down below for your t-shirts if you want to go buy yourself one. Hooters, 155 West 33rd Street, New York City, right across from Madison Square Garden, from 1 to 4 p.m. Make sure you guys come and hang out before NXT TAKEOVER New York, the official off-the-script meet and greet. Man, we're going to blow Hooters away, man. We got over 120 fucking people coming to this thing. Man, I didn't think I was that popular. I thought I was the most hated man in the YWC. We're drawing 120 people to fucking Hooters? It's a pretty big deal, man. Thank you guys so much. I promise not to be drunk because I got work that night. Maybe a Guinness here and there. Maybe a dish of buffalo wings. Nothing too much. I'm watching what I'm eating these days. And it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. Come hang out. Call me an asshole. Call me a goon. Call me a fucking prick. Whatever you want. Come and hang out. It's going to be a good time. RSVP is linked down below in the comment section. Follow me on social media. You guys know the deal. At JD from NY206 on both Twitter and Instagram. Going to be very vital that you guys do that this weekend because I will be giving you guys all the information you need as far as where I'm going to be and what's going on with these shows and the content on social media. Make sure you guys do that. Hit that subscribe button. Why should I do that, JD? Well, nobody does it better, motherfucker. That's why. Nobody in the YWC does it better. Okay? Do you need any more explanation? No, Mr. JD, we got it, man. Hit that bell as well. Turn on that bell for all notifications, as if it fucking works. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. If you guys want to support the podcast on Patreon, and I appreciate all you guys. JDfromNY.com. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter and the mailbag. Thank you guys so very much for all your support and signing up over there. It's easy enough to remember, unless you're a fucking goon. JDfromNY.com. There you go. There you go. Let's get into this fucking show tonight, man. I got no NXT news. We're just going to get right into the news here, or the results, rather. We have the show starting off with the War Raiders. I'm loving the War Raiders, man. This is the one match I'm looking forward to, or one of the matches I'm looking forward to on Friday night, as I will discuss on the podcast tomorrow, Off the Script, Part 1 for the weekend. I detail my most intriguing matches for the entire weekend. Obviously, most of them are coming from Friday's show. Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano, Matt Riddle versus the Velveteen Dream, and the War Raiders versus the team of Ricochet and Aleister Black. Now, the War Raiders have not really done much of anything with the NXT Tag Team titles. They haven't done much of anything. I love their entrance. I think they're great. And I remember when the War Raiders first showed up in NXT, I really wasn't a big fan. Like, I knew who they were, and I was anticipating, to be blown away by Hanson and Rowe, but I think right now they're really hitting their stride. They're coming into their own, finally, after a full year in NXT. You got the lighting, you got the entrance, you got the Viking-esque theme, you got the music and the horns and the headbanging. It's all great. It's all great. But they really haven't done anything as far as the NXT Tag Team titles. Now, they were waiting for their opponents to be announced. That's how fucking tired I am. I can't even fucking speak. They were waiting for their opponents to be announced because the winners of the Dusty Classic were going to go on to challenge the War Raiders for the NXT Tag Team titles. Those winners were Aleister Black and Ricochet. They defeated the Forgotten Sons. So the War Raiders came out and sent a nice little message to Mr. Black and to Mr. Ricochet. They went up against two local guys. I'm sure that they were just plucked from a local Wawa. And Rowe blasted through both of these guys. Hanson tagged in, hits a wheel kick. Rowe then lifts and throws Hanson against one of their opponents. Pop-up power slam, and we are already done. Forget about it. It's all over. 1, 2, 3. Pop-up power slam looked fucking devastating. Post-match, Hanson gets on the microphone and says, Aleister Black and Ricochet don't have to listen. They don't have to listen. I wish I didn't have to listen to Michael Cole. I wish I can genuinely fucking go into the settings on my TV, mute the commentary, and just hear the fucking live audience. That's what I wish. So he says, Aleister Black and Ricochet don't have to listen. They just need to watch. I wish I didn't have to watch or listen to Michael Cole or Raw. But I would rather watch Aleister Black and Ricochet versus the War Raiders. So, out comes Adrian Jaoud and Cesar Benoni. Two bums in NXT. These guys lasted just a little bit longer, but they got their fucking shit pushed in as well. Hanson tried for a big punch. Doesn't do much as, Jaoud, I believe, or Benoni. One of them, I don't fucking know. Benoni went for a big punch. Hanson was unfazed, hits him with a huge lariat. Rowe takes a knee strike to Jaoud's face. Rowe then body slams Hanson on Benoni. Rowe with a power slam, power bomb combination at the same time. It's pretty impressive to see on both of his opponents. He then picks up Benoni, Hanson with the leg drop off the top rope for the victory, and that was it. I was actually anticipating another team coming out. I could have watched this all night. I could have watched that all night. War Raiders beat two teams on their way to NXT TakeOver New York. It's going to be a fucking classic. Not sure if it's going to be better than the match that they had with the Undisputed Era, but I'm anticipating everybody bringing their A game, and I'm anticipating them just reaching that next level, man. This is going to be a great fucking match for the NXT Tag Team titles. There was a beautiful vignette for the NXT UK Championship. Pete Dunne versus Walter. Or for the goon out there, Walter. As my voice raised an octave there. Pitched and screeched. I need sleep. I really do. NXT TakeOver New York will see the NXT UK Championship. I love this, and I mentioned this in the podcast tomorrow. This is how important NXT UK is to Triple H. The fact that he's not waiting to put this match on a random UK takeover. He's doing it in New York in front of the most eyes possible. It's great for the brand, and it's great for Pete Dunne and Walter as well. It's great for the UK Championship. And another nice little aspect of this match being on the show Friday, not only does it make the entire card that much epic, there's 5 title matches in total. Every match is a title match. I love that. And I love how everything just feels equal. You know? It feels equal. Everything that happens in NXT UK is just as important as what happens in NXT. There's not one brand that's better than the other, or there's not one brand that's showing more love than the other. It's treated as equal. And I love the fact that they put this match there because it's getting just as much highlight and attention as anything else on the card. You know, it's not taking 4th place to one of the other title matches, or it's not receiving the least amount of attention compared to everything else. Everything else is receiving just as much attention as everything else on that show. And I love that. Now, normally with WrestleMania, WWE shoves some fucking bullshit agenda down your throat, and they tell you what is important to them. You're the fucking puppet who watches WWE. In turn, you are brainwashed to think, well, that's the only important thing on the show. It's 2 or 3 different things on the show, and everything else is just there. You know? Obviously, you got your important things like the Women's Championship and Batista Triple H and blah, blah, blah. But then the United States Championship's not getting much attention. The Tag Team Championships are not getting much attention. Randy Orton and AJ Styles are getting some attention, right? The Miz and Shane McMahon is getting a lot of attention, and so on and so forth. It's all over the board on the main roster. Some things are vastly important. Some things are just there and they mean nothing. Meanwhile, on NXT's card, everything is fucking equal. That's why this match is there. I love it. It was a great video package. We see clips of Pete Dunne in the long championship reign. That had a huge counter in the middle of the screen showing all his accolades, and then Walter's debut. I love his theme music. They showed him legitimately with some clips on the independent scene chopping people in half, man. I swear to God, you couldn't pay me all the money in the world to stand there and take a chop from this fucking guy. Unreal. Pete Dunne is not walking out with the UK Championship on Friday night. He'll be walking out with fucking blood dripping down his chest, but that's about it. That's about it. I'm looking forward to that match very much. And I can't wait to see what Pete Dunne does against a guy who is over 100 pounds heavier than Pete Dunne. NXT cameras caught up to Candice LaRae entering the building. She was asked about TakeOver and Johnny Gargano. She talks about how proud she is of her husband, Mr. Johnny TakeOver. But it reminds her how much she wants to be champion. Yeah, you know, Candice, honey, you are one of the most talented women in the WWE. You're one of the most talented women on NXT. And my buddy Jesse texted me tonight, and I gotta agree with him. It's very bizarre how WWE has had Candice LaRae all these months. It's been about a year now. It's got to be about a year. And they haven't done anything with Candice LaRae. And it's not like the NXT Women's division is being flooded with fucking talent. Or the spotlight has been given to like fucking 13 other women that Candice is trying to find a fucking spot. There's 4 women right now at the top of NXT's women's division. Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, Kyari Sane, and Bianca Belair. There's absolutely no reason why Candice LaRae cannot be in the discussion for the NXT Women's Championship. And I pulled up the list of personnel on Wikipedia, and I'm looking at the women's division. Candice LaRae is not the only one. Now, Dakota Kai is injured. When she's back, she's a great hand in the women's division. I can't wait to have her come back. She's actually recovering from a torn ACL. She'll probably be out for the rest of the year still. They have Deonna Purrazzo. Now, I remember when I was in the NXT Tom's River crowd about a month ago. Deonna Purrazzo was there, and she was very, very good. She is very good. She went a long way in the Mae Young Classic. And why they're not using her, they have her signed. She's the virtuoso, they call her, right? I don't understand why you got someone like Deonna Purrazzo and you're not using them on NXT television. They just signed Chelsea Green, which unfortunately she broke her wrist. So she'll be back, hopefully very soon. You got Mia Yim. I'm not sold on Mia Yim just yet. I don't know what it is, but she's still a notable name. And everybody else is So it's not like NXT's women's division is flooded with talent where Candice LaRae is going to have to wait her time. So I hope after NXT TakeOver New York that we start seeing some more of Candice LaRae in the spotlight. So we'll see what happens. Now, I could sit here and come up with a conspiracy theory. I mentioned this on the podcast tomorrow as well. I might as well just let you guys in on a little secret or give you a glimpse of what I talk about tomorrow. I'm going with Johnny Gargano to win the NXT Championship. That's the payoff. Like my buddy Tubby Emu says, that's the payoff. The payoff is Johnny Gargano. After the long journey, how much longer can this man wait to win the NXT title? Okay? If he didn't do it then, he's got to do it. He's got to do it Friday. He's got to do it Friday, no question. But I mentioned this, and I'm thinking about it. And she was asked, was Candice, of her thoughts on Johnny Gargano and TakeOver. Now, Adam Cole mentioned that he's going to win the NXT title because of these guys here. And then on the stage came all of Undisputed Era. What if, just saying what if Candice LaRae joins Undisputed Era, turns on Johnny, Adam Cole wins the title, and fucks Johnny over? Could happen. Could happen. I envision it going 1-1 with the third fall wide open, right? Undisputed Era will probably do something slimy, get kicked out of the arena. Candice LaRae turns on Johnny. Imagine that. Now, I don't know how they would spin that per storyline, being that we all know that she's married to Johnny, but could happen. Could happen. We'll see what happens. I just found it to be, not weird or bizarre, but obviously Candice is being asked about Johnny, and Adam Cole mentioned last week that I got these guys here. What if it's somebody else? What if it's somebody else that's not pictured there? Could happen. Anyway, Candice was asked about that. She's excited. It reminds her how much she wants to be champion. Vanessa, Bourne, and Aaliyah walk up from behind Candice and basically say that Candice is not cut out to be champion and only knows about failure like Johnny Gargano. Man, what's the saying? That's the pot calling the kettle black? Or some shit like that. So, Vanessa, Bourne, and Aaliyah roll up and say that Candice is not cut out to be champion. Man, why don't you two ladies look yourselves in the mirror? Then they say that she only knows about failure. Again, ladies, why don't you look yourself in the mirror? Stokely Hathaway is in the background. I thought he was legitimately going to come walk up to the fucking camera and say something. He just walks on by, he's on his cell phone. He don't give a fuck. I don't blame him. LaRae says she fully plans on earning her title shot and will start by taking out Aaliyah and then heads off. Vanessa, Bourne, and Aaliyah are both failures, and they have zero wrestling ability. And WWE has realized this after putting so much into them. They really do not have any in-ring ability after all this time, and WWE has now finally realized that the only way we're going to find any money-making ability with these two women is to dress them the way that they were dressed tonight and pretty much use their one skill, their one and only skill, looks. It's not really going to get you by. It's not going to get you too far in the WWE, or you'll end up like fucking Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. Do you want to end up like Billy Kay and Peyton Royce? I don't know anybody whose favorite wrestlers are Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. If you are, please give me the key and I will throw it away and lock you up forever. You must be out of your fucking mind. These two are fucking terrible. And we got Aaliyah versus Candice LaRae next week on NXT. I can't wait. I wonder who's going to win that one. Jaxon Riker with Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler versus Oney Lorcan with Danny Burch. Jaxon Riker bores the shit out of me. Now, I praised the Forgotten Sons. I think Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler did a fantastic job during the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. In fact, I mentioned that they were my MVPs. They didn't even win the fucking tournament, and they were my MVPs. They were phenomenal. Jaxon Riker, on the other hand, bores the fucking shit out of me, man. I don't even think I lifted my head up from my phone for about 30 seconds while this man was in the ring. I had to legitimately go back and watch the match if I missed anything, and at that point I realized, well, I'm glad I kept my head down on my phone because I really didn't miss anything. This was fucking boring. Absolutely boring. And I love Oney. I think Oney Lorcan's great. I love the team of Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. Nothing Oney Lorcan could do in this match to save it. Nothing. So he delivers a gut buster on Lorcan. That looked brutal. I will admit that. Riker with a big knee to the stomach, double chop to the midsection. Lorcan tries for a sunset flip, gets pulled up by his ears. Yes, by his ears, because he has no hair. So the next grabbable thing was his ears. And then he gets put into a bear hug. It's exactly what I want to see. A guy who's fucking already boring doing bear hugs. Great. Lorcan slowly starts to work his way out of it. Swings away with some punches and chops. Does his running European uppercut. Running elbows in the corner. Goes for a third one. Gets nailed with a lariat. Riker hits a modified sit-out powerbomb, and that was it. He put us out of our misery. Jaxon Riker wins via pinfall, and the Forgotten Sons get a victory back since they lost the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. There you go. And Mauro Ranallo mentioned that Jaxon Riker continues to win. I don't know what that means. I pray to God that they don't put this guy in any title program in the near future. We've seen a vignette of Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole working out, training, what they're going through for the NXT title match. Makes me want to get back into the gym, man. I've been slacking. But I can't wait. It's going to be my match of the weekend. I think it's going to steal the entire weekend. Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano. We look at the Velveteen Dream and the Matt Riddle feud. Not much going on there. A couple of bros here. A couple of Velveteen experiences there. Really nothing of note, but it should be a great match. Some people think this match is going to steal the weekend. We'll see. I mean, they certainly have the capabilities to do so, and I'm sure it's going to go down as one of the best matches of the year, so we'll see what happens there. Keith Lee and Dominik Dijakovic. I'm finally getting used to his name. Dominik Dijakovic wrestled to a double countout 5 weeks ago. And then we seen the clip from the Performance Center, and it makes me sad because Eric Bugenhagen was in those clips, and we haven't seen him on TV since that one day. I would like to see Eric Bugs on TV. I got to get my fill of air guitar and fucking power metal yelps. Please, get Eric Bugenhagen back on TV. I would really appreciate it. And NXT cameras caught up to Keith Lee. He was a cocky prick, and it really wasn't all that good. Lee says he showed up for a conclusion to the feud, and they got bumped from NXT TakeOver. I believe he said NXT TakeOver, or the show, he said. I don't know what show he was talking about, but I'm assuming they were talking about the match that they were supposed to have that wasn't on weekly television, even though we all know this match should be on TakeOver's card. But Keith Lee is hurt. That's the rumor. Now, Lee says he was first in line to talk to William Regal's office to figure this out and figure out when the rematch goes down. It will happen in 2 weeks, so I'm assuming Keith Lee is good to go. This one excites me, man. They're filming this right before TakeOver. The Street Profits versus the European Union, Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel. Should be a good one, man. Should be a good one. Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel are my NXT's version of the Bar. I think they're great. Bianca Belair versus Kyari Sane. Like I said, a rematch from round 2 of the inaugural Mae Young Classic. Bianca came out with that silly-looking purple lipstick. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it. This one was okay. Crowd seemed to be a little out of it at this point. These two women are great. It just really didn't do anything to excite me for the Fatal 4-Way coming up. I'm sure we'll all have a different interpretation of the Fatal 4-Way instead of these random one-on-one matches that end up getting broken up or ruined by Shayne and Baszler, which was the case here. Now, there was a situation here. There was a situation here where Belair ends up on the top rope and Kyrie Sane's up on the top rope. I don't know what she was doing, but it looked like she botched. She was going for a superplex, but it looked like almost a snap superplex. And Bianca Belair hooked her legs on the rope. I don't know if that was intended late in the match. And then she jumps down, she flips over, jumps down, and does a standing moonsault, which barely connects, but she gets the knees into Kyrie's midsection and goes for a cover. I don't know what that was. That was probably the most sloppiest part of the match. So Belair was looking for the suplex. She gets that moonsault, and that was that. Sane is trying to fight back, and after all of this, we get Shayna Baszler coming out, and she attacks Bianca Belair. Now, this caused a DQ or a no contest. I don't even think they announced a winner to this thing. And all of a sudden, Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir come out to attack Kiari Sane. Io Shirai comes out because they got to build towards the Fatal 4-Way. There's a massive brawl. Referees are trying to break this thing up. The entire women's locker room comes out, and they all are brawling in the middle of the ring. Out of all the women, Belair picked the smallest one, the tiniest one, to lift up over her head. And that fucking god-awful spot of everybody just standing around. They're waiting for something to happen. Belair lifts Lacey Lane up in a bench press. throws her over the top rope, and everybody falls down like a fucking sack of bowling pins. I don't like that spot because it makes everybody standing there would look like a fucking idiot, you know? So then we get Shirai knocking Belair out of the ring, and then she goes to the top, and everybody's there, would? And they're looking at Io Shirai do the moonsault. Off the top rope, she takes everybody out like a sack of potatoes. So Shirai then goes over to the title, which is laying in the corner, because Shayne had just left it there, and she touches it, and she admires it. She stands in the ring, and she holds up the title, and she's pointing to it, right? And that's the way NXT goes off the air. The one thing I noticed here, in between all of this, Kiari Sane was looking on as her friend didn't come over to check on her. Now, I don't remember if Kyrie was beaten down. I think she got out of the way when Shayne was in the ring. I think it was mostly focused on Bianca. But Kiari Sane was looking on the outside. She was standing up. And Io was in the ring, pointing at the title. And Kyrie had this sad puppy dog face, just looking at Io. Like, bitch, you didn't save me. Like, bitch, you didn't come over and check on me. Bitch, that's my title. Bitch, I'm going to win that title. I don't know. Could we be looking at a heel turn? I don't think so. I think Bianca's winning the title. I think Bianca should win the title. And I think Io should chase. And then Kyrie, I don't know where you put Kyrie in this entire situation. I really don't. My dream scenario is Bianca winning the title, Io chasing, winning it at SummerSlam weekend, and then having Kyrie and Io feud over the title going into the next major program. That's what I would do. I don't know. We'll talk about it tomorrow on the podcast. Off the Script is coming, and it's going to be a massive episode. We're going to talk about everything NXT TakeOver New York, news and rumors going into TakeOver. It's going to be a big video, and then we're going to talk about WrestleMania on Friday. Friday's the meet and greet, so that should be up as I'm at Hooters. So I look forward to all you guys there. It'll be episode 268. This will be part number 1 and 2, Thursday and Friday. Make sure you guys are aware of that, and make sure you guys schedule to be here to watch those shows. If you missed any of my other videos, man, all on the channel. Off the Script last weekend, where we talk about Charlotte, Asuka, Becky, Charlotte, Asuka, Becky, because that's the only thing people are talking about. Part 3, SmackDown Live, Fox, WrestleMania Swerve, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live. You got NXT tonight, NXT TakeOver, Off the Script tomorrow, NXT TakeOver review on Friday. You're going to have the Off the Script WrestleMania predictions. That'll be on Friday as well. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy, man. So much content, my head's going to fucking explode. In fact, I'm going to go lay down. And the AEW stuff. Jim Ross, that was uploaded today. More AEW news this weekend. Going to be crazy, man. So I'll be here covering everything for you guys as always. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. And I will see you all at Hooters. Hooters, 1 to 4, Friday. That's right across from Madison Square Garden, Friday, April 5th. You better be there, motherfucker. You better be there. I'll come find you. Come have a Guinness with me. I'm a good guy. I'll see you guys later, man. Thank you guys so very much. And I will talk to you all tomorrow for Off the Script 268 NXT TakeOver preview predictions. It's about an hour and a half long. It's a good one, man. Don't miss it. I'll see you guys then.